Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. And my disclaimer, y'all, I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. All right, y'all. So we're looking at the SPY, and the market is open. This is during a normal trading session, but I wanted to do some recording and as a more of a teachable place because sometimes, I realize that if you have a decent trading day, not every day, or even just in general, every day is not a trading day. Some days it's best to sit on the sidelines and learn the game before you can see it from a different perspective. Let's say it that way. So today I wanted to just sit back and observe and to just look, to watch, right? So again, we're looking at the SPY, and one of the things I wanted to point out, this is our 9:30 candle. Price went up, got rejected at that ATR trailing stop. This is the 30-minute. We knew that we could have trouble at that place, and we had this line marked here at 589.46. We knew we could have trouble at that place. So look exactly where we knew we could possibly have trouble. That's where price was. Now on this one, it broke through that only to come down to our another next level of support, right? And this one here, this tells me, okay, this is where our buyers and sellers are willing to stand, and we're in agreement right here because price did come down here. But however, look where the body of the candle is, right? So if we could have said, okay, I'm going to enter the trade and take it back to the upside, I wouldn't have done that because I knew I have trouble here, there's trouble here, there's trouble here, there's a trouble here, and trouble here. So it looks as if I'm trading in a gathering spot. So I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart just to see if I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And exactly, I'm still trading in that zone, right? So to break out of that, the SPY needs to break above 590.89. If I break under this, I definitely need to come. I'm knowing that I'm going to have trouble here. I need to be down towards the 588.04 area because I've come to this area before, test this area, found support and bounced back up. This area tells me it could be another strong area of support, so I have to be careful. I want all of my charts to tell me the exact same thing. I need to see the exact same thing on all levels, on all time frames, right? So back at the 5-minute chart, it tells me I'm consolidating. My 30-minute is telling me the exact same thing. I am consolidating. There's no need for me to either be in a trade. I'm going to sit this one out until they figure out, until, we decide on what we're going to do from this point moving forward. Now, this candle and this candle, why didn't it stop at this 588.92 area that I have marked? It's one of the questions that I would have to ask, why didn't we stop in this area? And the only explanation is, because there's always somebody on the opposite end of your trade, right? And they knew, just like I know, and like you can see, that this area of 588.92 was a support area for us. So normally it will come down and possibly trigger a stop loss to try to get your thinking off just a little bit, right? Trigger a stop loss, and then or possibly the buyers were willing to, sellers were willing to bring that price on further down. Everybody starts selling at the same time for whatever odd reason, right? We just know that price came down to this level instead of this level, so we have to keep that into consideration even when we mark these levels, that it could very well move up a little bit or down just a little bit. Again, we're looking at the SPY. We see that now the SPY is having issues in this area here of 590.16. We've tested this area 1, 2, let's say 3 times. We broke through it here slightly and only come back down. So I need to watch this level of 590.16. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same area yesterday we had trouble in. So I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart, and I want to look at this area. Yesterday we had trouble in, let's see, the high of this candle is 590.99. So let's see, 590.58. The low of this is 589.46. So this is kind of like an area that we traded in on yesterday. And yes, here, price came to this area on yesterday, 590.16. So yesterday it was a support area. Today it's a resistance area for us. We're having trouble in this 590.16 area as we did on yesterday. That's something to be mindful of. I always say, it's better to zoom to the left, go back and see what happened previously, what stopped us in this area, what caused us to not move forward, because it's going to help with our trading journey and understanding. While now it looks like we're moving back to the upside. Our MACD is trying to cross here, but we know that, we're above that 596. Well, we're trying to get above that 590.16 area. As you can see here, that is an area that we've struggled in before. It, again, was a strong support for us. It is now a strong resistance for us. So breaking through that lets me know we've broken through a level of resistance. And even though we break through that level, I still know that this ATR trailing stop is a trouble place for me. 940.41. So breaking through this 940.16, I still know I'm going to have trouble here at 940.41 and again at 590.58. So let me go back. We're going to have trouble here at 590. I don't know why I keep saying 590.16, again at 590.41 and 590.58. Those are going to be trouble places for me. And these lines here are so jumbled together, so I definitely don't have a clear signal as to what's going on. Well, it looks like we just broke through, or trying to break through that 590.41, and we just broke through that. So now we've broken through a level of resistance where we struggled at before. So now this becomes our support area. What was strong resistance for us is now our strong support. So we definitely need to watch the SPY in this area because we have broken through a strong level of resistance. Now this ATR trailing stop that we have here, you see, there were some sellers right in this area, right slightly above what we had right here around this 590.42 area. We've broken through that. We've tested that area of here, the green, that 590.57. I think it was 590.50. Yes, 590.57. Look what happened. We had some sellers right there in that area, and we knew that. So breaking this level of 590.54, 590.57 area, we could very well come back to this area here and have trouble in this area. My 5 and 50 is crossing, but it still seems like I have some trouble in this area. So not quite sure I would jump in this trade because I'm having trouble here. There's another trouble place here. So I need to clear this in order to enter. Based on this 5-minute chart, I need some more confirmation because, again, these moving averages are giving me some jumbled up signals that I don't like to see. I see here there's a long wick here. It tells me we got some sellers in this area. I definitely need to watch right here. And look what happened, y'all. We went all the way up, slightly beyond that because everybody's seeing what we're seeing, right? We all seeing the same thing, that this 590.58 area was going to be a resistance area. So they took the price slightly past that, which was the 590.64, slightly past that, because most people would think psychologically, oh, we broke through that, we're going to keep going and jump in the trade right here, when that's not the case always. So, and it shows us clearly that that is not the case. We came up, broke past that slightly, only to come back down to look where we are, back in the gathering spot. Now, if I go to the 30-minute chart, we're going to see that we're still trading in the same area that we've been trading all morning long, and that is that consolidation area, or what I like to say, the gathering spot. That's where the price is. We've been trading in this section all morning long since pre-market. So I definitely would need to be careful in this area. That's why sometimes it's best to just sit on the sidelines, observe the game, pay attention to the game before you just jump in. Many times people just jump in it without going back looking, to see what's going on. And if you're looking at the 2-minute chart, there's so much activity going on here to where you really cannot get a clear picture as to what's going on. That's why it's best to go to a higher time frame sometimes, so that, again, we can see it from a different perspective. So again, we're looking at the SPY. SPY ran up, got rejected off of this ORB high. The green line here is my opening range breakout. It generates on my chart the first 15 minutes. It lets me know the high and the low. I use that as a support and a resistance. And as you can see, we broke past that slightly to give you that indication that you think it's going to keep going, only to have that sellers right there to take that price back down. Now, what's interesting is we're at the 5 EMA and the VWAP. That right here is a strong area of support for me. So are we going to break through this? And as you can see, y'all, price came under that slightly, just to give you that idea that it's possibly going to continue declining. But look what happened. It seems like we're finding support right here, only to try to go back to the upside. Either way, we still have trouble here at the 590.16. We've been at that place of 590.16. Price has been trading in that area. So I would need to see SPY, if I wanted to trade to the upside, I would need to see it above this 590.16. Otherwise, I'm going to set myself up for a losing trade, because I already know we struggled in this area before. So 590.16, I would normally set an alert to let me know that we have broken past that place. However, not saying that that will be a place for me to enter my trade, because I know this ATR trailing stop, I use that as a resistance area because it's ahead, that I could have trouble here at the 590.41 and again at the 590.58. So I would have needed to be very, very careful in this area, trading it back to the upside. So again, look how price came down, bounced off of this Fibonacci retracement line here, those dotted lines here. That's exactly what that is. It's generated on my chart. So it tells me that SPY went up, only to come down, bounce here, and found support, which I had a line of 589.46 as a level of support. It's interesting that I mark these lines and don't, without having these indicators come on my chart, which is, I find it interesting, right? Because visually, all we need is really, to remember where the body of the candles are, sometimes where the wick of the candles are, and we can use that as a level of support and resistance. But again, I use the other indicators because it's helpful. It kind of puts the picture together, like a puzzle. It kind of puts the puzzle together. So again, we're looking at the SPY, and SPY got rejected off this ORB high, only to come back down. That's why it's so important to go to the higher time frames, because technically we're just trading sideways, and by looking at it on a smaller time frame, we don't see that. This is the 30-minute chart. I'm going to zoom back out so that we can see that we are trading sideways. It looks like we are breaking out of this area, knowing again on this 30-minute chart we do have support here at 588.92. So that's going to be support on every time frame right here. That line does not change because it has been a previous support area. I graded out because I needed to remember that. Now, if we are going to a smaller time frame, let's say we're looking at the 2-minute chart. Is so much activity going on here, you can get whipsaw unless you are a scalper. Let me say that. Unless you are a quick scalper to get in and out. There's a double top here. You could have gotten in, MACD separated, confirmation, 3 lower lows, but by then you're going to be in support area. So if you would have got in, say for instance around this 589.92 area, you could have scalped it down to this area around 588.92. That would have been a decent profit, depending on if you're buying shares or if you're buying options. That could have been an option. However, you have to be quick to get in and quick to get out. So again, making sure that you have the right entry and the right exit is how you become a profitable trader, and making sure you know where your trouble places are. So again, y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. Again, we are trading in this zone. We were trading in this zone here. My eye immediately went to that, looking at it on the 2-minute chart. So on this 2-minute chart, we know that the ATR trailing stop is at 585.27 here. So I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart. There, that is 585.56 was our ORB low, which is the opening range breakout for the, first 15 minutes of the day. We bounced off of that. Why didn't it stop here? Because they wanted us to think that it was going to continue declining, and it did not. So it looks like we bounced off that. Buyers were here to take that price back to the upside. We bounced, and it looks like buyers are still trying to take it back to the upside. We bounced from here. So we need to be very careful in this area. So this area here, which was support for us at 588.92, is now a resistance area. This area is our support area. So we're looking at support and resistance. Just looking at it on a much smaller scale. Basically, we're looking at it on a smaller scale so that we can identify where we could possibly have trouble. Right now, price is coming back to this area as a support area. Now, if we break below the low of this candle here of 588.37, we are at 588.36. We have made a new low slightly, only to bounce back. We got to be careful, because that 1 cent or 1 point difference can still take us bounce back to the upside. Is that going to give us a double bottom here to take us back up? That's something we have to wait it out and wait and see. Right now, looking at our MACD has given us an indication that we're moving down. The MACD has helped me stay in trades a little bit longer. Let me say that, because I had that scalping mentality to where I'm in and out. But again, it has helped me a lot to stay in a trade. So yeah, y'all, look, I try not to make long videos, because if your attention span is like mine, sometimes I get thrown off just watching really, really long. So Yes, I do these only because I want people to learn from the mistakes that I've made and some of the things that I've had to learn along this trading journey. And again, I'm a visual learner, and sometimes I'm able to see it and I'm able to recognize it. But when you're in it, on the sidelines and you don't understand the game, you're trying to understand it. It seems like it can get confusing and very overwhelming. So you just have to learn it piece by piece, section by section. So again, y'all, I hope these are very, very helpful. Hope that everyone have an awesome day today. Very, very productive day as always, y'all. So if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.